Angela Lansbury's illustrious acting spanned stage, screen, and TV. Despite facing wartime escape, a failed marriage, and pausing her career for children, she prevailed. In this video, we explore the roller coaster journey that is the life of Angela Lansbury, while we show you some of her rarest photos. Angela Lansbury was born into wealth. Her mother, Moyna McGill, was Irish by birth and an actor by profession, appearing on stage in the West End as well as in films. Her father was the politician Edgar Lansbury, who had made his wealth in the timber trade. The first difficult moment in Angela Lansbury's life came when her father passed away when she was just 9. With her mother being busy pursuing her acting career, young Angela was often left alone. The loneliness of her childhood was broken by the characters in her imagination, which were increasingly being shaped by the movies and musicals that she started devouring obsessively at that time. Angela Lansbury's teenage dreams were rudely interrupted by the sirens of war. The Second World War had come, and London was put under the aerial bombardment known to history as the Blitz. German planes decimated London, resulting in the plight of many civilians in the area. Fearing the worst, the Lansbury clan made the decision to jump the pond over to America. Life in New York awaited Angela Lansbury along with her 2 brothers and their mother. The patronage of a wealthy businessman by the name of Charles T. Smith meant that the Lansburys were quick to find comfort in America. Young Angela, meanwhile, landed a scholarship with the American Theater Wing. She studied at the Fegan School of Drama and Radio, and eventually graduated in 1942. Angela Lansbury's career as an actor started small when she joined her mother for a touring production of Tonight at 8:30. Just as she was about to take on the challenge of building a foothold in New York theater, her mother, Moyna McGill, decided to move to Hollywood to prioritize her own acting career. Still a minor, Angela had no choice, so she and her brothers went to LA with Moyna. However, the move to Hollywood would prove fortuitous. By a stroke of sheer luck, Angela Lansbury was scouted in a party hosted by her mother to play the role of a Cockney maid by the name of Nancy Oliver in a movie called Gaslight, starring alongside Ingrid Bergman. At the young age of 17, Angela had to be accompanied by a social worker on stage. The movie went on to be critically acclaimed, and Angela Lansbury picked up an Oscar nomination for her performance. Around this time, MGM, a big Hollywood studio, signed her to a contract, and she started appearing in supporting roles in various films. In her personal life, this period saw the beginning of a lifelong friendship with the forever dazzling Elizabeth Taylor. On the professional front, Angela Lansbury starred in the 1945 adaptation of Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray, a film that failed commercially but drew critical acclaim. Angela Lansbury portrayed the role of Sybil Vane with acting prowess beyond her years, winning her a Golden Globe Award for her performance and bagged another Oscar nomination to boot. The upward curve in the trajectory of Angela Lansbury's life was about to come to an end, when in 1945 she married the actor Richard Cromwell, 15 years her senior. The marriage didn't even last a full year, as it turned out that Cromwell was a gay man. He had hoped that marrying Angela Lansbury would straighten him out, but that plan did not work out. She found love soon after, however. She met, fell in love, and got married to actor Peter Pullen Shaw within a few years, and adopted American citizenship in 1951. Her career, however, hit a slump during this time. The movies and roles that MGM cast her in turned out to be detrimental for her career, and Lansbury was stuck portraying older women in villainous roles during this time. She soon terminated her contract with MGM, but struggled to shake off the trend of being typecast as older characters. Many of her fans thought she was in her 40s during this period, even though she was in her mid-20s. She kept appearing in movies with a mixed bag of performances, and eventually made her debut on Broadway in 1957. While working on Broadway, she developed a friendship with the famous English actor Laurence Olivier. Possibly the best moment in Angela Lansbury's film career came in 1962, through her performance in the political thriller The Manchurian Candidate. The movie was based on a book that Angela had loved reading, so when she was once again typecast to play the mother of the character being portrayed by actor Lawrence Harvey, a man only 3 years her senior, she did not object. Her performance in The Manchurian Candidate landed her a third Oscar nomination. Following this, however, Hollywood would continue to disappoint Angela Lansbury, and her career would crawl along in fits and starts, always promising but never delivering superstardom. But good things awaited just around the corner in the world of musical theater. The year was 1966, and Angela Lansbury was a surprise casting in the titular character for the production of Mame. She had never starred in a musical before, and this was a demanding role with over 20 costume changes and 10 song and dance routines. Now 41, many were skeptical as to whether Angela Lansbury would be able to pull this off, but she did so with aplomb. The musical was based on the novel Auntie Mame, which was already popular among the gay community. The role of Mame Dennis in this musical production made Angela Lansbury a cult figure in the gay community. Critics were generous in their praise too, and all of this led to Angela Lansbury's first Tony Award. Success was followed with adoration, but it also led to one of the bitterest disappointments in the life of Angela Lansbury. The film adaptation of Mame was put into production, and Angela Lansbury was overlooked for the role this time for a more reliable, successful film face, Lucille Ball. Things took a much worse turn in her personal life when it turned out that her children, Deidre and Anthony, had become severely addicted to cocaine and heroin, caught up in the hippie counterculture movement of the 1960s. The year 1970 was one of tumult in the Lansbury and Shaw family. Angela's husband, Peter, had undergone hip replacement surgery when Angela's firstborn, Anthony, suffered a coma after overdosing on heroin. Having seen her child stare death in the eyes, Angela Lansbury also had to endure, within the same year, a fire at the family home at Malibu, so the family moved back to their native Ireland to help Anthony's recovery. In Ireland, the family turned their fortunes around. Anthony was now off cocaine and heroin, and he attended school. He eventually followed in the footsteps of his grandmother and his parents, becoming a professional actor and then a director. Having failed to take off multiple times, the acting career of Angela Lansbury was now meandering along, as she performed in London's West End and on Broadway, as well as appearing in movies every now and then throughout the 1970s and early 1980s. She enjoyed the highs of receiving a standing ovation for her performance in Gypsy, in addition to bagging more Tony Awards for various performances. The superstardom that had eluded Angela Lansbury her whole career would eventually arrive for her, albeit a bit late. In 1984, she appeared as Detective Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote. Playing the lead in the rare occurrence of a female-led detective show, Angela Lansbury captured the hearts and minds of audiences first in America and soon across the world. For 12 seasons, Murder, She Wrote was an institution of American television. Angela Lansbury not only acted in this global phenomenon, but also produced many of its later seasons, taking an active role behind the camera as well as in front of it. Angela Lansbury's stellar career took her to all forms of popular media, in a journey that spanned decades, captivating the senses of billions. Her life had all the ups and downs of the dramas and tragedies she brought to life on stage and on the screen. But she never allowed setbacks like a failed marriage or the addiction of her children to stop her from achieving greatness. Her career gave her 3 Oscar nominations, 18 Emmy Award nominations, 1 Grammy nomination, 6 Golden Globe Awards, and 6 Tony Awards. But what she gave her audience was a lifetime of cinematic genius. She passed away on October 11th, 2022, at the age of 96. If you like this video, please watch the other videos in the end screen about beautiful ladies of yesteryear.